Hi, this is a video PowerPoint about cars. Okay, let me get this set up. All right, cars. First of all, are you sure you really need a car? Cars are the most expensive form of transportation. Why? Because they cost a lot to buy or to lease. A lease is a long term rent. I'll explain more about that soon. Of course, you have to pay for gas, insurance, parking, and there's an annual car excise tax that the state charges. It's not that much, maybe 25, 40, 50 bucks, but it's another cost. Are you sure that you can't use public transportation or bike or walk? Those ways are cheaper than cars, they're better for the environment, and you get your exercise. I had a friend of mine who lived in West Roxbury and he worked in Cambridge. He biked to work and didn't need a car, saved himself a lot of money, and he didn't need a gym membership because he's got his exercise by biking. Second, can you afford a car? Most personal finance experts suggest that you spend about 10% or less of your take home pay, that's after tax pay, on your car payment, and spend about 15 to 20% or less of your money on car expenses overall. Overall expenses would include gas, insurance, parking, and annual car excise taxes. So again, you're thinking about 10, 15, 20% tops of your money on cars. For example, if you earn $50,000 a year, what can you afford in a car? Well, you guys know how to figure out your taxes. Let's assume your taxes are roughly $8,500 for federal taxes. You know how we get there. On the first $10,000, everyone basically has to pay 10%. That's $1,000. And on the next $25,000, you have to pay about 15%. You know how to calculate that. Add in our local and state taxes. Remember, state tax is about 5%. And we could round your total tax bill to roughly $10,000. So your after tax take home pay is about $40,000. Multiply 40,000 times 10% up here, that's zero point 0.1, and you get about $4,000. So that's a car price you could afford, maybe for a used car. Again, your overall spending on all car expenses, including gas, including insurance, should be less than 20%. 20% or a fifth of 40,000. What's a fifth of 40? It's about $8,000. So you shouldn't be spending much more than that. What kind of car should you get? In general, for teenagers getting their first car, you want to buy a used car. Why buy and not lease? I'll explain more about leasing soon. And why a used car? Well, new cars lose a lot of value. They depreciate, they decline in value. As soon as you drive one away, it becomes a used car and you lose thousands of dollars right there when it goes from new to used. So, why take that loss? It's better to buy a used car. What kind of car should you get? A safe one. So you want to get a big-ish car. Too small is too dangerous, especially today with all these SUVs and trucks and that sort of thing. And a car that's too big uses too much gas. You want a boxy car, kind of a square design. I know it's not sexy and stylish, but it's safe. You want to get a reliable car. Breakdowns and repairs cost you a lot of time and money. You want to get a boring car. I know that's not exciting to hear, but boring cars get fewer speeding tickets, they won't get stolen, and so they are cheaper to own, and the car insurance is less. Car insurance varies with your age and your gender and also the type of car. If you get this flashy sports car, it's more expensive to insure. So the rule of thumb here is you want a car that's big, boxy, and boring. You don't want to get a convertible because they're expensive to insure. Why? Because it's easier to break into the that soft top, that roof that goes up and down. You don't want a red car. Why not? They get the most speeding tickets. You don't want to get a black car. Why not? They are hard to keep clean and they're hot in the summer. You want to get a white car. Why? They're the safest because they're easy to see, and so they are the cheapest to insure. If you live where there's snow in the winter, then you want to get front wheel drive. Front wheel drive pulls the car, whereas rear wheel drive sort of pushes the car from the back, and front wheel drive works better in the snow, or four wheel drive, or all wheel drive. What else matters a lot? Getting snow tires and driving slowly and carefully in the snow. What we see on TV, in the movies, and from a celebrity is not our reality. So here's LeBron James, the famous basketball player. He's got a Ferrari. That's great. That's not reality. Reality for the most of us would be, for example, a white Ford Escape. It's big-ish. It's a smallish SUV, a sport utility vehicle. It's boxy. It's boring. That's the best. I know the Ferrari is cooler. We'd all love to have it, but this is reality. Fantasy versus reality part 2. This is Justin Bieber. This is the Biebs hot ride. I know it looks cool. Who wouldn't love to drive up to the student lot, in that? But this is reality here. Here you see a teenager getting a car and giving her dad or mom a hug. Fantasy versus reality part 3. Here's Giselle and Tom Brady in a Rolls Royce. Looks great. Love to be them. Not going to happen. This is reality, okay? White, boxy, boring, practical, affordable. It's a white Honda Accord. I'd love to drive these. I mean, this could be my summer car, and this. I mean, this is really what I drive. Okay, I drive a Toyota Highlander. It's big-ish. It's boxy. It's boring. It's affordable. It's reliable. All right, how do I pick a car? So you're going to look at my chart, my worksheet. I will show that to you now. Okay, give me 1 second here, and I will show you this car picking chart. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 cars to look at for homework, and you're going to fill them out. Look at the gas mileage, safety. Are they good in snow? Is it big, boxy, and boring? Okay. You're going to go to these websites for the safety rating, for the gas mileage, for the overall rating. Okay. And then at the end, you've got to answer which car would you pick and why. That's going to be homework. All right. Let's come back here. How do I buy a car? The first thing you want to do is use the websites such as consumerreports.org to find the invoice price of your car's year, make, model, and options package. What is the invoice price? It's what the dealer paid the manufacturer for the car. So actually what happens is Muzzy Ford, that local dealership, pays the car manufacturer, Ford, for the car. All right. So the invoice price is the wholesale price. It's what the dealership paid to get that car in its lot. For example, here's an example of the year, make, model, and options package. This over here, this is a 2020 Mazda CX-5 Sport. Year, make, it's a Mazda, model CX-5, and the options package. This is a Sport, biggish, boxy, boring. That's the way to go for your first car when you're a teenager. Second, you want to bargain up, quote unquote, up from the invoice price. Do not bargain down from what the dealer wants you to pay. That's what's known as the sticker price. It's on the car. It's a sticker on the car window. It's also known as the manufacturer's suggested retail price, the MSRP. They have already ripped you off. They've already baked in a lot of profit there. You want to bargain up from the invoice price, not down from the sticker price. Third, the car salesperson will try to sell you services and products like undercoating and rust proofing, fabric protection, extended warranty, windshield etching, gold stripes. Do not get these. They are overpriced ripoffs. Fourth, Before you agree to the final price, make sure you are aware of and the dealer has included additional costs such as taxes and tags. That's your sales tax, which is pretty substantial because you're making a big purchase here, and tags. Tags are the license plate. You might need new ones. If you have an old one to use, let them know that. You can save money. And they have things called shipping, processing, and handling. These are all ways that they make money off of you. So if you look over here, again, you want to bargain from the bottom up. So find out that invoice price of your car's year, make, and model. Let's say it's $25,000. Then you talk to them and you figure out, okay, how much was the climate package? What about the entertainment package? Then they're going to charge you taxes and tags and shipping, processing, and handling. And if you look here, you see that what looks like a $25,000 car becomes a $35,000 car pretty quickly, actually. You don't want to start from the MSRP. Here, for example, it's like $40,000. So you see, they would have made $5,000 off of you. You want to build up, bargain up from the invoice price. Okay, here's some good bargaining tactics. You could say to them, get me out the door after taxes and tags, shipping, processing, and handling for less than whatever, $20,000, 30, whatever it is, okay? You got to get me out the door after all that stuff, because people make a mistake. They usually agree to a price, and then they have to pay taxes, tags, shipping, processing, and handling. And again, the car companies are making money off you. Another good bargaining tactic is to walk away. There is no law forcing you to buy the car right then. Walk away. The salesperson needs that deal a lot more than you do. I know you're going to be excited. Oh my God, first car, but maybe not today. Walk away, and the salesperson will come back to you or call you and bring the price down. Salespeople really need to sell cars. They work on commission. They only sell a couple cars a month. They've got kids at home that they need to feed. So walk away. There are other car dealerships out there, and you'll see they're going to come back to you and they're going to lower the price. If you have an old car to trade in, do not mention it until after you've agreed on the price for this new car. And don't mention your trade-in until you know what it's worth. Kelley Blue Book, it's kellybluebook.com, I think it's kbb.com, is a really good website millions of Americans use, and you can see roughly how much your car would be worth as a trade-in. All right, if you need a car loan, then you want to do the following. Try to set up your loan before going to the car dealership. Try to get the lowest, cheapest interest rate possible. How? Shop around for the lowest, cheapest, best loan. You can go to these websites, bankrate.com, eloan.com, etc., and see what the interest rates are in your area. Then you want to check with your bank. And again, you want the lowest annual percentage rate, the lowest APR. You want to try to keep the loan length down to about 4 years, 4-year loan at longest for a used car. Then you go to the dealership, for example, Bach Toyota in Norwood or Bach Honda in Norwood or Muzzy Ford, and they sell the model, for example, a Toyota RAV4. And then you can also go online to the manufacturer websites. You can go to toyota.com or chevy.com and see if there are any special financing rates. You might find that a car you were looking at has a low special interest rate. Maybe you're looking at a boxy, boring car. They haven't been selling that well. So if you go to the Honda website or the Mazda website, maybe they're offering really low interest rates to get people to buy this car. If so, you want to call the dealership like Bach Toyota in Norwood or Muzzy Ford and make sure you qualify for the loan. Sometimes those incentives are only available to buyers with high credit scores. I'll come back to that in a second. Getting pre-approved for a loan by a bank or credit union keeps the negotiations at the dealership simpler and removes some of the stress. And you can still decide to take the dealer's loan if it's a better, lower rate. So again, if you pay your credit card bills in full, on time, every time, how does that help you get a car? I'll pause for a second so you can answer that. If you pay your credit card bills in full, on time, every time, you'll get a good credit history, you'll get a good FICO score, and then banks and car dealerships will give you low interest loans. So getting a car will be cheaper. All right, what is leasing? Do I want to lease a car? Leasing is basically long-term renting. A lease is a long-term rental contract. But there are costs and benefits to leasing. The benefit, you make monthly payments, and those monthly payments are usually smaller than the large amount needed to buy a new or used car. Making a monthly payment of $200 or $300, it's a lot less than $20,000 or $30,000 to buy a new or used car. And you can get a new car, you can lease a new car with the latest safety features, a full warranty, and affordable monthly payments. Leases are typically for 2 to 3 years. However, there are also some costs. If you get into an accident or you stain the interior, you might have to pay a lot for repairs. After all, it's not your car. You don't own it. You're renting it. And the sticker shock will come at the end of the lease period if the teen has trashed the car. All right. So if you bang it up, they're going to charge you a lot for repairs because, again, it is not your car. Many leases also come with mileage limits. And if you drive more than the lease allows, you'll be charged an over mileage fee that can be about 15-20 cents per mile. If you drive 10,000 miles too much, that starts to add up. If you need to end the lease early, you may have to pay the remaining payments and an early termination fee. And at the end of the lease, after 2 or 3 years, you'll need another car. So the total cost of back-to-back leases might be more than just buying a car, buying a used car, and using it for years. For first-time drivers, teenagers, that sort of thing, most people would say don't lease. Instead, buy a used car. All right, that's purchasing. What about maintenance? What about car ownership? How should I take care of my car? Part 1. You need to do it carefully. Take care of your car so you take care of yourself. What is the point of this chart? Well, this is the 10 leading causes of death by age group. And if you look here, 15 to 24, 25 to 34, unintentional injury is the leading cause of death. What is unintentional injury? Well, let's look at this. If you look at this breaks it down a little bit better. Unintentional motor vehicle traffic. You'll see this is the leading cause of death. I don't know why poisoning. Anyway, dying in cars is basically the number one cause of death here for young people. How should I maintain my car? What is the most dangerous thing in our lives? Is it a plane crash? No. Lightning? No. Terrorist attack? No. HIV/AIDS? No. Look at the statistics. The most dangerous thing we do is driving. So don't drink and drive. You guys know this. No DUI, no driving under the influence of any drugs or alcohol. And don't text and drive. Accidents are going to cost you money, and your insurance rates, your insurance premium, the monthly fee that you send the insurance company each month will go up. Why? Because there's a higher chance that the insurance company is going to have to pay out because you had an accident. So accidents cost you money up front, and they cost you money in the future because of higher insurance. As a driver, you're in charge of 3,000 pounds of steel going about 30 miles per hour. That is a deadly weapon. Do you want to kill someone else or yourself? Of course not. So drive slowly. Why? It saves gas and thus money. We burn the most gas when we accelerate. So if you drive nice and easy, you'll save gas and save you money. And to be perfectly honest, I don't always do this, I need to listen to my own advice here. I need to do a better job. I need to do a better job of driving slowly. It's also easier on your car. Your car brakes will last longer. You won't have to replace the brake pads as often. There's less wear and tear, and that increases your car's resale value. Probably in 5 years or 8 years or 10 years, you want to resell that car. And if it's in good shape, you can sell it for more. Also, if you drive slowly, you avoid speeding tickets, which can easily cost you $80, $120. And accidents at 5 to 10 miles an hour are just annoying fender benders. It's not the end of the world. Accidents at 20 miles per hour and above are much more dangerous and expensive and could include the ultimate price, which is someone's life. Another key thing with maintenance is you want to take care of any steering or brake problem immediately. Sorry, I spelled brake wrong there. If there's a problem with your your seat warmer, it's not the end of the world, all right? If your cup holder doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. But if there's a problem with your steering or your brakes, you got to get that fixed immediately. All right, maintenance part 2. You want to follow the maintenance schedule in the owner's manual. Basically, every 10,000 miles, you need to get a tire rotation and you need to get the tires balanced. Do not fall for tune-ups. Those are a rip-off. The mechanics are just trying to rip you off because you're a young person. You want to get your oil changed every 4 months or 4,000 miles, whichever comes first. As for air conditioning, if you're going under 40 miles per hour in the summer, basically just driving around town, you want to put the windows down. Why? Because running the air conditioning puts a strain on the engine and it costs gas. You can save gas money by having the windows down if you're driving around town. If you're going over 40 miles an hour in the summer, you're on the highway, you want to put the windows up. Why? Because it reduces aerodynamic drag. If the windows are up on the highway, your car cuts through the air faster and you get better gas mileage and you save gas money. So again, in the summer, driving around town, windows down, get some fresh air, save some money. And if you're on the highway, windows up, helps your car get better gas mileage, you'll save money. Tires. Every 6 months, you need to fill up your tire pressure. You don't want to have soft tires, driving around on these wet noodles, because that uses more gas. Before the winter, you want to fill up your tire pressure. Remember from physics and chemistry, cold air contracts. So you want your tires nice and full. Before the summer, don't fill your tires up all the way. Why? Again, remember science class. What happens to hot air? Hot air expands. So you do want nice full tires going into the winter. And then before summer, just fill them up, but not all the way. You do not want bald tires. Bald tires have this smooth look and smooth feel to them, and you're going to slip on ice and wet leaves and that kind of thing. A good test is to stick a coin, like a nickel, dime, or quarter, into your treads. These are the treads. Stick a dime in there. The coin should stick. If the coin doesn't stick in the grooves there, you got bald tires and you need to get them replaced. If you get a flat tire, change it on a flat, level road where you can be seen by drivers coming from all directions. And remember, don't put your body under a car that's jacked up. If it comes down off the jack, you could be in real trouble. Find a reliable, trustworthy, honest mechanic. How? Try ASE.com. That's the National Institute for Automotive Service Excellence. And pick a good mechanic, find a good mechanic, because shady, lying mechanics often try to rip people off, and it can get expensive. The bottom line is, if you take care of your car, it'll take care of you. What should I do if there's an accident? You want to make sure you're safe and can safely get out of your car. Make sure the other person is safe and can get out of their car. If you or they are in a dangerous place, get to a safe place. And if someone needs medical attention, take care of that first. Immediately call 911. Once everyone is safe, then you want to exchange information: name, phone, email, address, insurance, and license plate. Also, it's a good idea to take a cell photo of the car and the license plate. Take photos of the damage with your phone because the other person might try to take off or give you fake info, wrong info. They might lie later. So just get out your phone and take a picture of the license plate and the damage and the dent and that kind of thing. What should I always have in my car? Should always have jumper cables in case your battery dies or someone else's does, windshield wiper fluid for those winter storms, coolant for the summer, a blanket, flares. This is a little flare, and you can put it out at night and to be safer when you're changing the tire, water, car registration should be up to date. You can get all these in an emergency roadside kit. I'm sure you can buy one on the web, and it has a lot of that. And of course, you want an economics textbook if you ever get stuck and have some downtime, want to do some reading. Just a reminder, if you drive like this, you're going to end up like this. So let's update our How to Get Rich list for cars. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.